It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Take two. Happy Devils, Merry Christmas Sunday. Yes, this is another live podcast here on the Let's Go Devils Network. I'm your host, Sam Wu, streaming you live from the bunker at the Primetime Radio Studios in beautiful New Jersey. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Good morning again. It's a very Devils Merry Christmas. Take two. Why? Because, well, you folks, we do this podcast live. But what I didn't realize was I played Arlette's music in the background the entire time, and nobody let me know. So out of respect to our listeners on the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart app, Audible, Amazon Music Prime, I deemed that it was not good to upload the previous podcast, which was streamlined on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch, that I decided to do take two of a very Devils Merry Christmas out of respect to those driving in their cars, because otherwise they would have heard the beautiful, wonderful Arlette like this.
Slip a sable under the tree.
In the background as I was talking. This is what it sounded like.
An awful good
yeah, you can't really hear me in the car, and you kind of get confused. So I decided to do another podcast again. Happy Devils Sunday to you, Mike Rossi. Hello to all those on YouTube Live. I'm your host, Sam Wu. Doing it again. The Wu Report episode is 262B. And those that are driving in your cars right now, listening to the podcast for the first time, this is a redo. But you know what? I'm doing it for you. Merry Christmas to all. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa starts tomorrow as the New Jersey Devils are relevant now on Christmas. The last few years have been tough. The Devils, well, all intents and purposes, that they are, we're normally talking about the World Juniors and prospects. Bachakaloo, Merry Devils Christmas. Yes, Merry Devils Christmas to you too. It's a very Devils Merry Christmas. We will have another Wu Report, the third one, as we're doing this redo. Tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, just to let you know, to see what everybody got for Christmas and Hanukkah, whatnot. I'm kind of curious what kind of Devils gifts that you got. Submit them to our Twitter page, at Let's Go Devils Pod. Take some pictures of what you got for Christmas or Hanukkah, or even just in general this past month. A lot of people have got retro jerseys, but, there's a lot of gratitude going on. And I said in the earlier podcast to take 5 minutes, beginning of your day, to be thankful for things around your life. And usually people are thankful about their New Jersey Devils being number one for a long period of time. Now they're losing some games, but they're struggling. Technique, Merry Christmas, Sam, the LGT team, and all of our fans. Yes, happy Devils. Merry Christmas to you, Technique. Yes, we are doing a redo. Seeing some new, it's kind of weird. I'm seeing some other listeners that weren't on the first podcast when I was playing Arlette music like this as I was talking the entire time, and nobody even said anything. Josiah Helm says, Happy Devils, Happy New Jersey Devils, Merry Christmas here in Anchorage, Alaska. Devils Nation in Alaska, let's go. David Decker, yes, Happy Devils, Merry Christmas to you, David Decker. Yes, that David Decker at Town Toyota, who sells out Toyotas no matter what. No Toyotas around because of supply chain issues. David Decker will get it for you. Interest rates too high. David Decker will help you negotiate a good payment plan for your Toyota. Town Toyota off of Route 46 in beautiful New Jersey. Yes, and there's a lot of things to have gratitude for this Christmas. The Devils are relevant, but also in the news yesterday, Simon Nemec, Devils 2022 second overall pick, last season's draft, 4 assists in the pre-tournament World Juniors, and let me tell you, that's something to be very thankful for. Also, Luke Hughes as well, being named captain of Team USA. Devils having 2 key defensemen on the blue line down, John Marino and Ryan Graves. And let me tell you, this is why you have the pipeline. The pipeline. This is why you open up the spigot. Because the young kids are coming. And I know Kevin Ball the other night, the learning lesson, got benched by Lindy Ruff, just like Damon Severson, who's playing a lot better since being benched. These are learning lessons for these kids. You can't make turnovers. But I'm grateful for the talent on the blue line because right now the Devils are going to have to tap into that pipeline, tap into Utica. And they brought the beef. David Decker says it's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy. We talked about the future, but the future is now. And the World Juniors, and people asked us on the last podcast, are we going to be covering World Juniors? And I said, Vinny Parisi, Nick Villano at pucksandpitchforks.com, editor-in-chief, they will be covering it. We will bring it to you. We will be watching them because it is very important to watch these young kids, how they perform in World Juniors, because it's somewhat of an indication of what's to come for your New Jersey Devils. The Devils are relevant right now. The Devils are playing well. I thought the game on the 23rd, which is a holly jolly time, in general, I've mentioned this many times on the Let's Go Devils podcast, that any December 23rd game, whether it's on the road or home, for your New Jersey Devils, it is always a good time because the NHL traditionally takes a Christmas break, and I hope they keep that tradition. I know the NBA, they have their games, their marquee games. It's all about TV and ratings, but, there's, for me and hockey fans in general, we're very genuine, authentic people, and we're human beings. It's kind of like, why do you have people working at Walmart or Target back in the day? I don't know if they still do it now on Thanksgiving. Like, there are certain sacred times where you just don't do that. And I love the Christmas break. It gives the players a break. And It's a really a happy time, a holly jolly time of the year, a very Devil's Merry Christmas, something that we should be all thankful for. And, I'll tell you, folks, the Devils are looking very good. And we said this at episode 262, which right now we're episode 262B, a redo from before, where the recording didn't go too well. Thanks, guys. That, the future is now. And we should be thankful, but we're a little bit ahead of schedule. And Lindy Ruff is now holding the players accountable, which is something that we should be very, very happy about. Mistakes are going to happen, especially with young teams. But I'll tell you, the gift right now that we have is we see promise in this new team. Yes, there are things that they can work on. We talked about the beefalytics, but I think the help is going to be coming sooner rather than later. Nathan Bastian is out for an indefinite amount of time. John Marino seems to be. Ryan Graves, we don't know yet. He did see a doctor, but the Devils are mum. Probably going to wait to release that information after the Christmas break. And I hope Ryan Graves is okay. He's on a contract year. But the Devils, look, we're talking playoffs right now. Nate Milbank, happy Devils Christmas to you. All I want for Christmas is the Devils to finish their chances. Yes, for me, I hope the Devils, they bulk up and beef up and not get pushed around anymore and push back. Push back. And they're learning, my friends. They're learning. We're streaming live right now. It's a very Devil's Merry Christmas. Seeing all the comments coming out at Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live. Doing it again. And I will drop the podcast for your commute, for your in-laws and your family on this Christmas Day. Happy Hanukkah and happy Kwanzaa to those that celebrate as well. We're going to do a podcast again tonight, see what everybody got for Christmas. And Nate Billback said, here's a question. We all get Devils jerseys for Christmas. What's the most random Devils jersey you've seen inside or outside the arena? Mike Rossi said, can we bench Holla? We'll get to, jerseys and all that at 9 p.m. Eastern on another Woo Report. Benching Holla, you know what? I wouldn't bench Holla at this point. We got to get him going, though. You got to get it going, though. And YouTube Live, hello. And I'll tell you, this Devils team, it's a tough stretch. They've had their problems. It's been exposed. There's a blueprint of how to play the New Jersey Devils. But I think the Devils are going to get there. They have to get there. They can't be pushed around. I think that's the issue. The skill is there, the talent's there. Some of that stuff you can't even teach, like what Jack Hughes does with the puck. Nico Hischier as well. They're pretty skilled players. Jesper Bratt. Certain things you can't teach. But you can teach grit. Because years ago, Europeans that would come over to the NHL, it was a different game. But it can be taught. They adjusted to the North American game, and it's both now skill and grit and toughness. And the Devils need to toughen up a little bit. They need to toughen up a little bit. But the great Christmas gift right now we have is the Devils are relevant, and we're talking playoffs. We're not talking about prospects, although it's nice that Simon Nemitz did get 4 assists in the pre-tournament at the World Juniors. And Luke Hughes as well, captain of Team USA. But as what David Decker says, that's the problem. Other teams' blueprint is to beat the snot out of the Devils. Well, that's going to change, Dave. It's all going to change. Because Tom Fitzgerald probably notices it right now. Hence why Nikita Ohiotuk was called up in favor of, the rest. He could have called up Riley Walsh. He could have called up others. He did recall Kevin Ball. They understand that they need beef and not pushed around. And this is a young team. Let's not forget the big picture here. It is a young team, and they will have to perform better. They will have to look. Jack Hughes may have to mix it up. I know he's in the running probably for President's Trophy, Lady Byng Trophy, by not taking so many penalty minutes. But you know what? You got to defend your teammates at all costs, because that's how a team comes together, and this is what we need, a team. Paul C. says they looked better against the Bruins, but they should have put Schmidt back up and send Blackwood down for more conditioning. You're probably right, but the way the things work with contract-wise, it's probably better to get Blackwood going now. And we know what we can expect out of Akira Schmidt, who performed extremely well. I think the Devils have a happy problem. But at the same time, I think Blackwood and Vanacek, as much as we like VTech, I think they are really the stopgap solution for the next couple of years. I think right now what's happening with the Devils in terms of goaltending, the Devils need Schmid, Dawes, and Brennan to all develop properly, and they're not rushed through the system like Mackenzie Blackwood was. To his credit, Blackwood, he was basically thrown to the wolves on really bad teams. Then the injury problems, the COVID issues, all that came up. Now you got to play Mackenzie Blackwood and Vanacek. But I think the real future is going to be with Dawes, Schmid, and Brennan, with all of them one day. They're young goaltenders. I think they will perform well in the future. I talked about 2025. Again, this is why we have the pipeline. I don't think Vanacek and Blackwood will be the future of the New Jersey Devils. You want to talk about the future and what to be grateful for. We talked about Nemitz. We talked about Hughes being a dynamic pairing, a potential dynasty if they live up to the hype and expectations. And you're talking about the next 10, 15 years. So let's fast forward to 2025, what this team could look like. You got Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, again, still very, very young, in their mid-late 20s in 2025. You've got Simon Nemitz and Luke Hughes with NHL experience. You've got some experienced beef in Ohiotuk, hopefully. Kevin Ball on that blue line. Bastian. Possibly Mikey McLeod, we don't know. Miles Wood, will he stay long-term? We don't know. Select the Boy says, Merry Devils Christmas, Sam. Merry Christmas to you, too. But the future's bright, folks, and it's something to be grateful for. And we're talking playoffs at the same time. We're not talking about tanking for Connor Bedard. We're talking about a very, very good New Jersey Devils team. Still a lot of things to work on, but that's okay. That's okay, because eventually the dominoes will fall. And we forgot. Palat, thank you, Select the Boy. Palat will be back. So the short term and the long term look great. And it was good that they came back against the big bad Boston Bruins, which, again, they will play on the 28th. And they've got a tough stretch in the next 3 weeks. They had their moments, their bad moments in the 6-game losing streak. But Lindy Ruff, the way he responded, benching players, holding them accountable, that's also a good sign as well for your New Jersey Devils. We'll be back later tonight, dropping the podcast in about 20 minutes. The redo, because I was playing Christmas music like this in the background while I was talking the entire time, the first time we did it live today. If you haven't downloaded it or heard Arlette's Christmas music, you could go to Apple Music, type in Arlette Christmas, or Spotify. You can listen along today on this beautiful Happy Devils Merry Christmas. Your drive to the in-laws, your drive back from the in-laws, drive to your family. It's cold outside, folks. It's very cold. It feels like Christmas, but it feels so good right now that the Devils are relevant. They're a good team. And I'm looking forward to the World Juniors, the amount of talent that the Devils have at World Juniors, and what they're doing at the NHL level and Utica level as well. Just watching the prospects, watching this young team develop. Palat's coming back very soon. He was supposed to be 8 to 10 weeks. He's at week 8 right now, 9. But it's going to be good, folks. So we'll be back 9 p.m. Eastern. See what everybody got for the third Woo Report on this beautiful Christmas day. But bundle up, folks, before you go out, because it's definitely cold outside. And we'll leave you with this. Arlette and Nico Di Battista, their album, Christmas album, on Apple Music and Spotify. Thank you, folks. Hands 10 and 2 in the wheel, 9 and 3 if you prefer. Till next time, have a Merry Christmas. This is the Woo Report. Let's go, Devils.
Beautiful, what's your hurry?
My father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace roar.
So really, I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please
Or
don't
maybe
hurry.
just a half a drink more.
Put some records on while I
The
pour.
neighbors might think,
Baby, it's bad out there.
say, what's in this drink?
Caps to be had out there.
I wish I knew how
Your eyes like a star, like
to
tomorrow.
break the spell.
I'll take your hat, your looks
I
swell.
ought to say no, no,
Mind
no,
if
sir.
I'm moving closer?
At least I'm gonna say that I tried.
What's the sense on earth in my pride?
I really can't stay.
Baby, don't hold out.
But baby, it's cold outside.